Master bringing you part 22 of Fossil Fighters. Let's get to it. Last time on Fossil Fighters, we went to Mount Lava Flow and found out that Vivisaur Island has been taken over by the BB bandits. And we also learned that they are operating out of the Richmond building. So we are going to head there and take over the Richmond building. But when we tried to go to the guild area, there's BB soldiers blocking our path, so we'll have to fight them. And they are using Apache, an Andarch, and a Ventnor. So the BB soldier attacks first and uses Dire Combo. And it does a critical 23 damage. So we're going to use Corona Bite. And it does 58 damage. And then Andarch uses Dire Fury. And it does 23 damage. So we're going to use Corona Bite. And it does 59 damage. Then we're going to use Iron Ram. Well, Apache uses Iron Ram and it does 36 damage. And then Andarch's Dire Fang, which does 9 damage. So then we're going to use Corona Bite, which does a critical 90 damage, and then Elasmo Tackle, which does 87 damage. So then Andarch uses Dire Fury, and it does a critical 67 damage. And then Iron Missile, which does 53 damage. So then we're going to use Elasmo Tackle, and it defeats Andarch. Then we're going to use Corona Bite, and it does 71 damage. And then the BB soldier uses Iron Missile, which does a critical 78 damage. So then we're going to use Corona Bite, and it does 67 damage. And we got one victory battle point. Shoney's LP increased by 2 along with Corona's and Elasmo's. Spinax's LP increased by 1 along with Ventnor's. So now the BB soldiers run away, and there's plenty of soldiers in the guild area too, so we'll have to be careful while we're in here. So it's just like the BB base. If we run into a BB soldier, we'll have to battle them. Just like this one we just ran into. And they're using Ventnor, Andarch, and Apache. So the BB soldier goes first and uses Iron Ram, which does 37 damage. So we're going to use Corona Bite, and it does 63 damage. And then Andarch uses Dire Combo, which does 15 damage, and Iron Headbutt, which does 22 damage. So we're going to use Corona Bite, which does 63 damage. And then Elasmo Tackle, which does 47 damage. So then Andart uses Dire Combo, which does 15 damage, and Iron Headbutt, which does 20 damage. So now we're going to use Elasmo Tackle, which does 46 damage. Then we're going to use Corona Bite, which does 107 damage and kills Andart. So then the BB Soldier uses Iron Missile, which does 53 damage. Then we're going to use Corona Bite, which does 73 damage. Then Elasmo Tackle, which defeats Patchy. And we get 1 battle point. Shoney's LP increased by 2, along with Corona's. Elasmo's LP increased by 1, along with Spinax's and Ventnor's. So now we're going to continue on to the Richmond building. So we ran into another BB soldier, so we'll have to fight them. They're using a Shanshan, a Delofo, and an Engato. So then Engato swipes out for Shanshan and uses Shan Fury, which does a critical 113 damage. So we're going to use Corona Bite, and it does 48 damage. So then Shanshan uses Shan Fury, which does a critical 116 damage. So we're going to use Corona Bite, and this should defeat Shanshan. And it does. So now we're going to use Elasmo Tackle, which does 65 damage. And then uses Poisonous Fury. Well, Engato uses Poisonous Fury, which does 35 damage, but no poison. So now we're going to use Corona Bite, which defeats Delofo. And then we're going to use Elasmo Tackle, which does 56 damage. So then the BB Soldier uses Poisonous Fury, and it poisons Shoney, and it does 73 damage. So we're going to use Corona Bite, which does 70 damage. Then Elasmo Tackle, which defeats Engato. So now we're going to continue going to the Richmond building. And we got 1 battle point. And Spinax ranked up to rank 10. So his LP increased by 2, attack increased by 8, defense increased by 4, accuracy and evasion increased by 1. Shoney's LP increased by 1, along with Corona's, and Elasmo's, and Ventnor's LP. So now we're going to head to Richmond's office. And when we get there, Bullwart is surprised. So Bullwart says he uncovered a legendary Vivisaur Frigisaurus, and that's why he's been able to take over Vivisaur Island. So, Frigi, this is the battle that we are supposed to lose, so we're just going to start the battle and then surrender right away. now that it is our turn, we're just going to surrender right now because our Vivisaurs will either miss or do no damage at all. So this is what I'm saying about this is the one battle you are supposed to lose. So when that happened, our character and Rosie got frozen over. So then when we wake up in the prison in the police station. So now with this part, we're just going to have to keep talking to Rosie until something happens. So then Rosie just has lots of questions like if her grandpa's okay and how did Bullwart get Frigisaurus. Then Rex comes in and Rosie wonders if he's gonna hurt us, which he isn't. He's actually going to help us. So now Rex is helping us escape. So Rex brings us to the fighter area, specifically the fossil center, and then into a warehouse in the fossil center. When we get there, we find the rest of the BB trio, Mr. Richmond, and Dr. Diggins. So the reason why they're helping us is they basically quit being BB bandits. So, and now they're thinking of how to defeat Frigisaurus. And then they think the chieftain of the Digga Digga tribe will know. So we're going to have to head off to Knotwood Forest. That's where we're going now. And sorry if you're hearing background noise. Our dogs are being really dumb and idiotic right now, so we're going to head to Knotwood Forest. So now we're going to talk to the chieftain. And Rosie says we'd like to discuss something with him. And then Rosie says we'd like to discuss to him about Frigisaurus, and the chieftain is like offended, and then Rosie tells him that he kind of has to save the island. So then he tells us a legend about the story, and there is a legend long told among the Digadigs, a legend that tells of an epic battle fought long ago. The battle was fought between the seas surrounding this island and the mountains of this island, Digadig. The seas crashed in rage, and the mountains erupted, fuming. The island was near ruin, Digadig. It was then up to my ancestors that offered up sacrificial fossils to the sea and the mountains. An Apatosaurus fossil to the sea and a Tyrannosaurus fossil to the mountains. So then, Frigisaurus revived naturally from an Apatosaurus fossil. So the cold of the ocean's depths made it like that, and then the Tyrannosaurus fossil evolved into Ignisaurus after absorbing the heat of the mountains. So, and then the chieftain tells us the Ignisaurus fossil should be deep in Mount Lava Flow. So now we're going to head back to the warehouse in the fossil center to tell Dr. Diggins what we learned. So we're heading to the warehouse. And when we come back, Rosie says that we learned about Ignisaurus deep in Mount Lava Flow. Then Vivian suggests that we could move the lava out somehow. And then Rex says that there's a lava flow valve inside Mount Lava Flow, which is like a water faucet for lava. So then Dr. Diggins says that we're going to go to Mount Lava Flow with Rex. And then Dr. Diggins gives us a Doglish translator so we can understand what Rex is saying to us. So now we're going to head off to Mount Lava Flow. So when we get there, Rex is waiting for us. Then he says, I have scouted the immediate inversions. The lava flow valve most vexingly refuses to be located. Let us continue the search farther afield. So now we're going, if you remember, there was a path that was still blocked into Mount Lava Flow by a big boulder. That boulder is now removed, so we can now go to this part of Mount Lava Flow, which we couldn't access earlier on. So when we get there, Rex picks up a scent and thinks that the valve is somewhere around here. Then we find a wall blocking our path. Then he says, I say, there is something written here, a wee bit hard to stand. Offer powerful mountain rocks to me. By Jove, could this be a clue to open the door? If we carve rocks in the shapes of digadigs, they should fit the door. So we're going to have to clean a fossil rock that is shaped like the digadigs. So we just passed the point where it's successfully clean now, so. And since we can't quit unless for it to result into a failure, just have to continue cleaning the rest of it. So it fits snugly into the slot when we put it in there, and then the wall goes away. So then another wall blocks our path. So we're going to have to clean another rock. This one's shaped like dinosaurs laying eggs, so. So now there's another wall blocking our path after that one disappeared. So now we're going to have to clean yet another rock. So again, we've completely cleaned that fossil rock. So then, if we break away that breakable rock, we find the lava flow valve. So now we'll try to tighten the valve. And then an earthquake happens and the lava will be gone when we get back to the lava area. So when we get back out, the lava's all gone. So if you remember, this path right here that was blocked by the lava, we can now get into this area of Mount Lava Flow. And then Rex says, "Can you feel that? It's tremendous fire energy. Use your sonar to look for the Ignisaurus fossil rock." So right here is where the fossil rock is. But then some ray hits it. Then Bullwart comes and says, "No drill or hammer in the world will be able to make so much as a scratch in that fossil rock now. That should pretty much dash your hopes of reviving the Ignisaurus. And with that, nothing can defeat my Frigisaurus." So now we're going to return to the fossil center and see if we can find a way to successfully clean this Ignisaurus fossil rock, even though it is impossible to be cleaned. So we show Rosie the Ignisaurus fossil. And then Rex says that Bullwart blasted it with the Imperva ray, so now it can't even be scratched. So Diggin says, "Let me see the fossil rock." I'm going to take a closer look. I'll be in the cleaning room, Master. Come by in a little while. So we're going to head to the cleaning room now. So then Dr. Diggins says, Master, whatever the imperva ray did to the fossil is a mystery to me. There's nothing like it in the world. I'm not sure how to go about breaking it down, but we may as well start with the obvious. Let's take a crack at cleaning it. If it looks like your tools are in danger, I'll tell you to stop. So we only are given 15 seconds to clean this one. But it's clearly not making a difference with our hammer. So with that, we will conclude today's episode of Fossil Fighters Part 22. Join me next time where we try to see if we can actually somehow revive Ignisaurus.